Hello everyone, this is Roger Brogan, and today we're going to learn how to add App Center tracing to our mobile application developed in Fabulous. This is a continuation of a prior video, or you can go watch the prior video where we just created the Fabulous demo app, and that is this guy right here. And if we run this app, this is a little simple app that has increment and decrement capabilities. So while that's firing up, we'll talk a little bit about what App Center is. App Center is a great tool for mobile development. And specifically, I've got a little app for my Fabulous test going on in here. And it has capabilities for managing your builds, for managing testing on different types of runs on different device sets. So it's cross-platform, helps you distribute. It's got a lot of diagnostics, a ton of analytics. You can manage push notifications, and it's got some settings in here. One of the things we're going to look at here is how to produce events into the log flow or produce events here. They get kind of rolled up, and then log flow is essentially that, this kind of a live stream. So we're going to see how to add some tracing for this to our application. And this code is based off the Fabulous documentation. Specifically, there's a pull request going on right now. It'll probably be accepted by the time you guys watch this from Tim. And I'm borrowing most of the code from him and tweaking it a little bit to work with the demo here. So thanks, Tim. So let's get on with it here. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add another file here. So let's add a new item. Oh, and this is our app here. There's an increment, decrement. You can turn on a timer. That stuff. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And I'm just going to add a new file here, and I'm going to call this one App Center. And I'm going to throw some code in here, like so. We're going to go over this. Okay, so first thing, I'm missing a couple of packages here. So let's go ahead out and add those. This is no surprise. This is our App Center. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw them in both of these because I had some issues deploying this. In the Android app, it had a problem with the dependencies if I didn't add it to both of those. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it to both. All right, so the open statements are happy. Let's take a look at what we're creating in here. So we're just creating a module here for App Center. And we're creating a type here that's a function that takes a message in a model, and it's called App Center Update Tracer. And it takes a message here. This is defining essentially here a function that has a message, a model, and then a string tuple of string tuples list option. Okay, so that might look a little bit complicated, but it's pretty straightforward actually. And then here we have the capability to trace the updates in the trace center. So we're just taking this function here, should trace update. And the reason why we have this is we don't want to trace necessarily everything. We could trace everything if we wanted to. That probably wouldn't be useful, be too much information. So we're taking this, and then we're taking our program, and then we're looking at our update model here, and then we're matching on whether or not we should trace the update. We're passing in the message in the model, and then we're matching that back. So we're getting a key and a value, assuming that we want to track the event. This is where actually using the analytics track event. And if we ended up in an error here, right, we could track our error if we had an exception. And then this is key here. We're updating our program with a new update and a new on error, right? So this is where we're essentially hooking into Fabulous's message loop. If we don't do this, then we're going to bypass Fabulous for this once we set this up. So we need to make sure that we update our program and update these appropriately. that's kind of step one. And then let's go and add the rest of the pieces here to finish wiring this all up. Now, the next thing that I set up, and I don't know that this is the best place to put it, but it works for now, is around around here. I put in a module for tracing, and inside of here, we're just making sure that we have a value here, and we're setting up this rules here. All right, I need that. It's invalid. And this rules takes the message here, and then it matches the message with the messages that we have, and then whatever we return from this is actually what's going to decide what we actually get logged, right? So right now I'm just capturing the increment and the set step, and I'm grabbing those and then returning some, and this is that tuple string of a tupled string that we're sending back, which is going to arrive back in the app at the App Center tracing. And then so when I set this up, then there's a couple other pieces to set this up. So this is, if we wanted to, these are the messages from up here. If we wanted to track more of these, we could go ahead and go in and decide which ones we wanted to track and which ones we wanted to trace, and then just add these to our rules function here. Okay. Uh, Thing that we need to do to initialize this is go in here and call App Center Start. And for this one, we need our okay, so App Center Start is in the Microsoft App Center namespace, and then we need also our other for analytics and crashes to get this going. So let's fix our open statements here. And you get this key from your App Center, so please don't use this one. This one's mine. So we've got it initialized, and then we need to plug in our trace steps here. So let's go ahead and add our tracing rules to our runner. So I'm going to do this, assuming we don't want to do this just for debugging. We can fix this up like this. So this is where we're calling our with App Center trace and using our tracing rules. So this is where it's plugging into this method here and then doing the creation of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see what we have. And while that's running, let me pull up, or while that's launching, let me pull up the App Center here. And we should be able to see some events pop up in here once we get this thing going. Definitely time for a computer upgrade. Okay, so here's our increment, and we see our start service event come up here. Start session, and voila, here's our increments, and we're also monitoring a step size change. So put a few of those in there, and voila, there we go. We have our live log flow going up to App Center. So that's it. Thanks a lot, everybody.